What's up, guys? My name is Moth. So today we're gonna check out this video by Zaffy. It says Donald Trump mentioned in the worst Epstein file yet. So that's a big fucking statement right there. The biggest Epstein file yet. It says he witnessed a ritual, and it says in the description that there's something called the yacht party ritual that he's referring to. So I definitely wanted to bring this up to y'all, and we're gonna check this out and see what Zaffy's got to say. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into this bullshit.
What happened on that yacht? This might be the worst allegation I've ever read on the Epstein files yet. And we've seen some pretty bad ones already. This is amounting to a really creepy, disturbing, and disgusting ritual.
Man, this is fucking weird. Okay, so obviously this is probably some stock photo or whatever. But you know something else that I think is very strange? How much we always see these people like smiling and grinning so hard in a lot of the photos that we see. But whenever I look at them in their faces, they don't look happy. They look disturbing. They look very scary, honestly. They look like very dark and conniving kind of people, very evil people. Definitely. I don't know why. They just have that kind of aura about them.
Something that you would see in your worst nightmares in some of the darkest, weirdest, wacky conspiracy theories you'd see on the internet. And I have to talk about it because things just got a whole lot worse for Mr. Trump. What I'm going to touch on involves sensitive allegations. And they are allegations. Don't get twisted. There's no like bombshell video recorded evidence. At least not that we can find, because it's all being covered up by the DOJ. There's no defamation here. I'm not saying anyone 100% did anything, and I'm not calling on an attack on anyone's character. There's no hate either, and there's no TOS violating content, YouTube. Now, I know I have a separate channel for the Epstein Files talk now. I had to talk about this. Now that the White House is conducting...
We appreciate you, Zaffy. I honestly have really been enjoying Zaffy's videos recently. I feel like he really brings out the truth in a way that I would very much struggle to. So watching him helps me be very knowledgeable about these kind of things in a way. Like not just him, but obviously I just have really enjoyed his videos recently. So
conducting Operation Epstein Fury, as I call it. There's been a lot of pushback, not only from the general public, but people within the government. The director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Joseph Kent, just resigned, stating that he was deceived by Trump, lied to him about why they were going into war with Iran, that there was misinformation pushed, and outside pressure forcing him to abandon America First principles. He says in this letter of resignation that Iran did not pose a threat to the US at the time of this attack, and this was done for the purposes of pleasing Israel. And look, a lot of people have pushed back against him. And what's funny about it is the press secretary herself, Carolina Leavitt, or whatever her name is, the dumb blonde that Trump has working for him, she said there's no such threat from Iran to our homeland exists, and it never did. She said it. And yes,
I guess he's talking about this lady right here, this chick. He's talking about this chick.
This was in regards to a specific California threat that people were saying, which is now the U.S. is saying California is going to be under attack by Iran, and people are saying this might be a false flag. Who knows?
That's weird. So why would they be putting out a false flag about that? Is it just for like a reason to go do something else? I've heard people speculate and say those kind of things, that they believe that they're trying to say that Iran is attacking California in order to have a reason to go attack Iran more, which, you know, I don't fucking know, guys. Let me know what you think about that.
But people in his own government literally stated that there was no threat. There are people in Congress stating that there is no threat by Iran. But now everyone's saying, oh, this dude, he's a woke right-wing person.
Supposedly
he's a Democrat,
fabricated.
even though he's been a Republican who supported Trump for 99% of his career. And now this country's being allowed to deploy armed forces and displace people in places like Lebanon. I had people in my Discord who told me about this and what's happening there to them. And it just sucks to see that if you speak out against this, you're called like a woke right or a Democrat or a terrorist sympathizer.
Yeah, people love making it all about the sides, you know what I mean? It's not really even about that at this point, but people love making it political in that way.
That's the propaganda machine, ladies and gentlemen. You got Lindsey Graham begging for this war to happen, saying stuff like, I feel good about the Republican Party. We're killing all the right people and cutting your taxes. Neither of those two statements is true, factually, by the way. Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't even run out of bombs in World War II. These are the people who are ruling you, by the way. And as a result of all this, the DOJ has indefinitely paused the unsealing of the final Epstein files. Final.
Oh, look, so these are all the pictures that we've seen before. He's got a lot of pictures of Donald Trump. Look at that shit. Donald Trump right there. This one is him and a bunch of chicks from like a bodybuilding match or something like that. Frame pictures of Hillary's husband here, Bill Clinton. Frame pictures of Bill Clinton here. This one's got too much fucking glare on it to see. Wow, guys.
I don't know what that means. We've only seen like 5% of them. Are the final going to be all of them? The billions that you've hid? Citing regional instability and national security regarding the Iran conflict as a reason for them stopping. Yeah, no shit. You literally want to distract. And it worked. Nobody is talking about these Epstein files anymore, except for me now. A house rep saying...
I am. I mean, a lot of the videos that I talk about are like watching his videos, but we're starting to do some other stuff too. I still am. By the way, guys, you guys should check out some of my other content that I'm starting to make. We're going to start looking into some movies and shows and other types of media and exposing some of the symbolism within humankind itself and some of the occult things that are going on and a lot of the occult things that we see within our media and have seen for the longest time, bro. Like we've had media for forever now, years and years and years and years and years, exposing a lot of the things going on that we're seeing today and having confirmation of now. So very interesting stuff, guys. Check out that. Check out my other videos.
Guard on duty when Jeffrey Epstein died, Tova Noel, will be called to testify.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
the same person who was Googling Epstein's name and what's happening to Epstein on the internet right before he supposedly died. She was funneled money into her accounts before Epstein died. Epstein's own accountant, Richard Kahn...
He's talking about this lady right here, Tova Noel. So we've all seen this lady. This lady was she was supposed to be part of watching over Epstein whenever he actually got, you know what I'm saying? So she should have been paying attention to him. She also has some strange deposits in her account that came around the same time that whenever Epstein supposedly got, and some people are thinking she could have been bribed in a way. There's also some strange footage that we saw of her mysteriously disappearing out of nowhere whenever she was supposed to be watching it, which is like, what the fuck? That is kind of weird too. So that's what he's talking about.
Contradictory testimony this week about whether or not an accuser of both Epstein and Trump received a settlement from the Epstein estate for abuse. We're going to get to that because that's some bombshell news. Jeffrey Epstein was wiring money to the owner of CBS, David Ellison. You know who David Ellison is, right? He's the owner of Paramount, who just bought Warner Brothers, who has a UFC, who, by the way, they're actively turning UFC into also a propaganda sport company. But
he really, so even CBS and Paramount, and we also heard that he had some ties with the head of TikTok and all this shit, bro. He was really seeping his little grubby, nasty little fingers into all forms of media and content. And I'm sure music and stuff as well. That is so fucking nuts, guys.
There are people more informed than me talking about that stuff. So he owns all that. You know who his brother is? The owner of TikTok and Oracle.
Ooh,
so both these people who own major social media platforms and media outlets now have a monopoly over media itself. At least one of them was connected to Epstein.
Guys, these people control the common consensus and way of thinking amongst the common man. Everybody that is just following suit with the agenda is getting brainwashed by these people that have control over what's put out there. It is fucking nuts, y'all.
And funded by him. If you guys don't see what's happening, I really don't know what to say to you at this point. There's also so people were trying to connect Erica Kirk's name to the file, saying that she has been exposed. And I looked into this. Now look, before I say what I'm going to say, I don't like this woman at all. I think she's a government plant. I don't care for any pundit in this space personally. This culture wars nonsense. She comes off as like an Amber Heard level actress with the stuff she does with her eyes and stuff.
So I haven't looked into this situation enough to really know exactly what he's talking about. I've only seen it from a distance. I do know that she's been making a whole lot of noise though. Seen her on podcasts, talking to Nicki Minaj. She's definitely been getting her own face out there since everything happened with her husband. And I mean, I have no idea. I'm not trying to attack this woman in any way, and it definitely could be because she is trying to like keep his name alive and the things that he wanted alive, or I don't know, it could be something else. I think that it could be stretched and you could speculate all sorts of things about her situation, to be honest, but I do not know for sure.
She's fake as hell. But anyways, so there was this rumor going around that she was in this audio file in the Epstein files, basically trying to get recruiting a girl to do stuff with Epstein and his people. And it does sound a lot like Erica. A lot of people were convinced it was Erica Kirk who was recruiting this girl. And this is part of a FBI wire.
That's a very big speculation though, guys. I want to make that very clear. Like I have not even heard that tape, but even if it does sound exactly like her, that's a pretty big jump right there, you know? That's pretty big.
Tap, I think. But it's confirmed that it wasn't Erica. It was this girl named Sarah Robson, I
Okay.
believe. Basically, Sarah Robson, who was 16 at the time of this wiretap recording, was a recruit for Epstein, confirmed, who was recruiting girls for him and his colleagues.
Okay.
So Erica Kirk got put under fire for this, and I think it's been debunked now that it wasn't Erica Kirk. Okay. Now, people like Candace Owens, who have generational beef with Erica Kirk, by the way, who will not stop making videos about her. Even Candace Owens says, yeah, this isn't Erica Kirk. This is clearly someone else. But what people are saying is Erica Kirk was working with and connected to this modeling agency called Next Models. The owner of Next Models
Wow.
is involved with Epstein. She was
Wow, guys. Okay, so obviously Epstein had a lot of ties to modeling agencies and stuff. It was something that he would actually like he had that guy that was going all over the world and messaging him videos and pictures and shit of all these women that he would find, and they would just sit there and criticize them and let them know he would let them know like I don't like this about her. I don't like this about her. Or she looks like this, or I like this, or whatever. And he was just like having these people like prospect to him about these different women to see who they should try to get from a impoverished place where they were trying to crawl out of a situation like Russia or the Middle East or like the slums in fucking Chicago or the slums in some place where it's not so prevalent where they're having a hard time getting out and they're trying to make a way for themselves in the world and get something better for themselves, they would take advantage of these people in those situations and lure them into their trap. And it seems like they were recruiting them for something that they weren't actually expecting. Fucking insane, guys.
in the Epstein files. She's been emailing with him. They were friends. He visited her in her offices. And people who worked in Next Management apparently have said Erica Kirk would visit these offices and was friends with her. And apparently the
Wow.
building which Jeffrey Epstein owned to house models, Erica Kirk was working in that building too to house models. I don't know. I think that part is uncorroborated though, so I could be wrong. I don't want to spread any misinformation. And a lot of this comes from the fact that Erica Kirk is just one, she's very sus, and she had this charity in Romania where she worked with the U.S. Navy SEALs. Don't know why, but basically this is an adoption charity of some sort, and people are saying this has to be a front for child trafficking. Apparently there was a whistleblower who said this. I don't know if this has been confirmed. Every time I try to Google it and look for it, people are saying there's been a lot of media articles fact-checking saying this is unsubstantiated and there's been no investigations into this. Now, there was an organization that Erica Kirk apparently sent money to that did have some kind of sus things happening in terms of abuse of children and stuff like that. I don't know how.
I mean, I do also want to say that just because she was associated with a charity or something that had those things come out it doesn't have anything to do with her necessarily. But like if they found out that somebody was trying to get them into this for the purpose of them to be abused, then that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? That is a way that we would tie it to somebody else. But just because they're associated with a charity and something bad happened in that charity, I don't necessarily think that that outright makes them accountable. It just kind of depends, you know. It also depends on there's a lot of details and shit that we would have to know before we could determine that.
Deep that connection goes. But in terms of Erica Kirk's own charity, I haven't seen that much evidence of it being trafficking. Romania is a hub for trafficking though, so it's odd how deep that connection goes. But in terms of Erica Kirk's own charity, I haven't seen that much evidence of it being trafficking. Romania is a hub for trafficking though, so it's odd to start a charity that's centered around kids and adoption there, I will say, and especially when it comes to working with Navy SEALs. I don't even know how that happens. I do think Erica Kirk is simply a government plant who has all these connections, but still, I did want to, not debunk, because I think it's already been debunked, but I did want to go over that and any misconceptions about her connection to Epstein. Again, I don't care about this woman at all. I don't like her. Don't like anything.
I mean, I don't either. I don't really have any connection to her or anything, but I do believe that there is something suspicious going on with something. I don't know what it is yet, though. Something just doesn't feel right.
To do with anyone in that space, but just had to put it out there. Now we get to the Donald Trump stuff, okay? Look, I know how, I'm gonna say it, rabid this dude's fan base is. They've come after me. There's people who hate the fact that I'm making these videos. Look, I made a video that hinted at the idea that maybe Trump did stuff with his daughter. And I wasn't alleging anything. I was just citing things in the Epstein files and things that former alleged victims of Trump have said. And Trump's own comments about his daughter that are weird and sus. People.
Yes. Okay. So about this situation, guys, I feel like people can come after people all fucking day, but what they really need to think about is who said what and who's just talking about it. I don't think that anybody is going out of their way to try to make something up about Donald Trump, and I don't think somebody's gonna say some shit just based off of nothing, okay? Like he's definitely acted a funny way.
People didn't like that. People were saying, "Oh, this is sensationalist clickbait." Okay, fine, clickbait I can give you. Sensationalist, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm reading stuff, but okay. You're a woke grifter. I think I've been very clear about my stance on them for months now, but okay, fine. Trump derangement syndrome. I'm gonna be clear here. People who have Trump derangement syndrome are the ones who are still sycophant followers of this dude after all he's done, after all he's been implicated in. He's sus as hell, might be a PDF file, has tons of allegations on him outside of the Epstein files.
I mean, guys, a lot of people don't really want to think about the president being corrupted or the president having bad morals, but I think that all of these, like, somebody can have a certain amount of qualities that in a lot of situations can be beneficial. Like Donald Trump can be a good businessman. He can be somebody that is an aggressive president that doesn't take shit from anyone and that won't let our country be bullied. But that doesn't mean that whenever he's in a room full of people and they're doing a bunch of shit, that he's able to say no to some of these things whenever he's one of these desensitized elites, allegedly. Like, I don't think that he's a perfect person. And that doesn't, I mean, this is way beyond being like a good or decent person. Like, nobody's perfect. But, like, holy shit, guys, he's way, way different than how me or you probably think about things. It's not the same kind of thing, guys. It's not the same.
Talked about his daughter in weird sus ways and is literally a political slave for another country doing whatever they want. I don't know what to say to you at this point, man. I don't know. Like, if you don't want me talking about it, I'm sorry. I don't mean to go after him, but he's a big factor in the Epstein files. He appears in the Epstein files almost as much as Jeffrey Epstein appears in them.
He really does.
It's crazy how much.
Him and Bill Clinton are two of the main proprietary people that are showing up in the Epstein files the most, guys. 100,000%.
His name is in it, so you have to mention
Epstein,
it. Okay. Now we're gonna go through the entire.
Epstein and Trump are also. Sorry, I keep pausing you guys, but Epstein and Trump are also very, very similar as far as their status and the type of person that they are.
Trove here that I found. So Epstein Victor, I think Sarah Ransom said things were done to her 3 times a day, and it was an assembly line of abuse, and it all started with the Big Donald. In a statement during the deposition of Epstein's accountant Richard Kahn, he claimed that Jane Doe 4, who accused both Trump and Epstein of abuse, never received any settlement from the estate. Now he changed what he said, saying he can either confirm or deny. And I think there was a statement made that she was paid a settlement to stop talking about Trump, right? Because she had alleged Trump had done things. She was paid a settlement after Epstein's death. So she was paid by the Epstein estate on behalf of Trump after Epstein's death. Now, of course, this is not confirmed, but this is stuff that was gathered from what the accountant said. So now the Congress is calling for the accountant to be put on testimony again so they can clarify what this means. Because if this is true, that she was paid a settlement by Epstein's estate on behalf of Trump after Epstein died, that's crazy. And
I think that honestly, that could mean that Donald Trump would be almost like the predecessor to a lot of things with Epstein, or at least in some way still is like tied in with everything going on. Wow, guys. Wow.
I do think this warrants Trump being put on the stand or something.
I agree too.
He needs to be here. And
that is like beyond time for this to have happened, guys. 100% Donald Trump should have already been questioned and should have been approached in some way, the same way as Hillary Clinton. Bro, yes. Okay. Oh my God. I can't believe that's not happened yet, honestly.
This is not going to do anything. This is not going to change anything. He's still going to get away with everything. If he did do it, he's going to get away with it because these testimonies ultimately don't do nothing. They don't do anything. And then there's the whole Melania Trump stuff. It's getting to the point where a lot of people on the internet, myself included, we don't know for sure, think that Melania Trump was one of Epstein's girls that he gave to Trump. Okay? Prince Andrew's biographer is caught on tape saying Melania and Epstein were lovers. Okay? I need to find this audio file.
Wow.
I've seen multiple people report on it, but I haven't heard it myself. I want to make that very clear.
I've never heard that before in my life, but wow, that's crazy.
The photographer who helped launch Melania Trump's modeling career is a recurring character in the Epstein files. So, another connection to Melania. Also, Melania Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. She was emailing with her. This is a proven fact. So she.
Dear G, how are you? Nice story about J.E. in. Wow, you look great in the picture. I know you are very busy flying all over the world. How was Palm Beach? Cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you get back to NY. Have a great time. Love.
Clearly knew
Wow,
Epstein and
wow, wow,
Ghislaine
wow.
for a while.
Wow,
Now,
guys.
the question becomes, did Epstein introduce her to Trump? Was she his before? That's apparently what some people allege. Well, there's this email from someone to Jeffrey Epstein. I simply cannot believe this victory. No one called, though. We all thought she'd win. Okay? I think they're talking about Hillary Clinton and Trump. You must be happy, though. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane the first weekend I went to visit you in Florida. Was the weekend he met Melania, and he kept on coming out of the bedroom. He kept on coming out of the bedroom saying, wow, what a hot piece of ass. No, nuts. Anyway, hope you're enjoying Saudi.
What on earth, guys? I remember flying back with Donald on his plane the first weekend I went to visit you in Florida. Wow, guys.
So I'm not saying this email means anything, but clearly, Melania knew Epstein
There's some
and Ghislaine
history, for sure.
prior to Trump getting with her. I don't know if this means necessarily that she was literally one of Epstein's models and he gave her. I'm not saying that. It's possible he introduced Trump to her, though. It's possible. Now, the Trump campaign and
Yeah. I mean, I think that's possible. I don't think that, yeah, like you said, I don't think that that necessarily proves it, but it definitely shows that they've got a lot of connection between all of them.
legal team have aggressively denied that Epstein played any role in introducing Donald Trump to Melania. I highly doubt that's true, but okay, fine. With Melania's team threatening legal action against those suggesting otherwise. So I want to say right now, I'm going to defend my girl Melania Trump.
Wow.
Anyone saying that Melania is sus in any way, stop it.
They can get these hands.
There's no
man.
defamation here. I'm
That's
defending Melania.
hilarious.
How dare you say that this woman who has her own movie, her own propaganda movie out about how she's a great first lady, how dare any of you say that she was connected to Epstein and given to Trump by him? Come on now.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I have heard that the person who made that documentary about Melania Trump also has made some things to help PR boost Epstein in the past as well. So don't quote me on that, but
Pathetic. How dare you disgrace the first lady? Y'all are just jealous because of how pretty she is. Y'all just want to hate on Trump.
that's what
Such
it
a
is.
beautiful woman. There's no way Epstein would have
Beautiful.
given her or introduced her to Trump, even though she knew both him and Ghislaine beforehand. That's not true at all. But okay. Now here's where things get a bit crazy and R-rated, okay? Trump is now accused of witnessing a certain session aboard a yacht with Jeffrey Epstein,
Wow.
according to a report from the files.
Wow, guys, I need to figure out where this comes from the files exactly. What on earth?
This is getting weirder and weirder. The session involved eating of things, and those things are not normal food. So,
Cannonball
apparently
session,
he was
man.
there during this weird ritual on this yacht. These are allegations, of course, anonymous tip to the Child Protection Unit and then the FBI, but these reports start connecting and adding up. I think
An anonymous tip to a child protective unit. That is insane. What the fuck?
this is wild, the stuff here. And yeah, it's unsubstantiated, there's no evidence, but I thought I'd tell you about it.
Who would make that up if it's not true?
Trump witnessed things happening to I don't know how to say this, man. I'm gonna get demonetized. There is a certain kind of human being that's born a baby. There were a few
Right.
of them on the yacht,
Right.
and things were being done to them. You know when you make food and you have a knife and you're chopping up onions, chop 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 chop. Well, apparently that was being done, and then have you ever like eaten from an animal and pulled out its intestine and eaten the poop from it or whatever? You ever done that before?
What the fuck?
Some people were doing that, and apparently
What the fuck? That is the most insane level of depravity I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. Like, what the fuck? That is like Isaac Money type shit. What the fuck?
he was a witness to it.
Says file EFTA 00147661. I'm gonna have to check into that, guys. What the fuck?
I believe that Trump did this. Trump doesn't strike me as the kind
I
of guy who
do not
eats
fucking
like
know.
toddlers or anything. I could buy that he did things to kids, to little girls, underage girls, to his own daughter even. It wouldn't surprise me. Do I think he ate people or ate kids? I wouldn't go that far. He doesn't. I feel like I know the type.
Guys, I really don't fucking know, but holy fuck.
I don't think Trump's that
It
type,
sounds
but
like
I
he
do
at least
think he
witnessed it.
did everything else. That he's a lot of the other stuff. Personally, my own opinion. Now, this does connect to another story. I don't know if this is the same person who said this, but the source claimed This was an anonymous male victim who filed a complaint with NYPD's Child Exploitation Unit, which was later included in FBI emails released by the Department of Justice. The yacht incident is where the victim alleges he was assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, and George Bush. He was drugged when it happened.
Right.
Of course, these allegations are uncorroborated. There's no supporting evidence.
Guys, it literally says ritualistic abuse, dismemberment, and forced consumption.
But the report mentions
wow.
recovering repressed memories from a drug intoxication. There was ritual abuse involving scimitar, which are like blades, blades,
Yeah,
like the
big
scimitar blades.
curved
Think of the
swords,
blades
yes.
that the Uruk-hai would have in Lord of the Rings. They were used to cut off feet, apparently. The files do not definitively clarify if George Bush 1 refers to the former President George H.W. Bush or George W. Bush. And there is skepticism involving these claims. But this was one claim. And this other claim said also Trump and Melania were present when this was happening aboard this yacht.
So this is more than one claim, by the way, and it's actually talking about that. More than one claim talking about them being present for ritualistic behavior is insane, guys. Like, think about that shit. Why would people even be making that kind of shit up anyway? Let me know what you guys think about that.
Even though
Wow.
you might find this like just a crazy sensationalist story that just sounds way too wacky to be real.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can agree with you, but there are some things here that are a bit
Who
sus.
knows?
Epstein did talk about stuff called trumpet plants, which is used as a potent mind-altering drug. It can make you susceptible to suggestion and screw with your memories. His victims were on that. So if there's a person saying, I was at an Epstein yacht party and I was drugged, and he doesn't know what he was drugged with, we know that this kind of drug was used by Epstein, or at least he talked about it in his emails.
That is very strange, guys. I've also never heard of something like that being used. And I mean, there's probably all kinds of strange derivatives that can alter somebody's state of mind and the way that they are. And I think that that's kind of crazy, guys.
Okay.
What the
That's
fuck?
like the worst allegation I've seen on the Epstein files yet. This specific ritual with this detail. Again, it's all allegations. I have to stress that, right? No defamation. But that's that. People are not gonna be talking about this shit much because of the Iran stuff, and it's not a trending topic anymore like it was last month or 2 months ago. But I want to expose the entire Epstein class of elites and how their inner circle and inner workings are actually expanding outwards and causing a lot of the global conflicts we're witnessing now. I have a new channel that I've started. It's called The Vigilante Files. I haven't posted there yet. I'm going to start posting very soon. Get on that if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Definitely, guys, go check out Zaffy. He makes great videos as well. I want to go ahead and let you guys know this is pretty much the end of the video we're checking out in this one. So, man, I don't know. Obviously, all of this stuff is alleged, but there is some definite dark and strange ritualistic behaviors going on out in the fucking world and in the reality that we live in. There are people who highly believe and put a lot of faith in a lot of these dark magics and a lot of these occult things. And I don't know, guys. Let me know what you believe down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys believe about magic. Let me know if you believe that rituals and these dark things that they're doing are happening out in the world. Let me know what you guys think about the cannibalism claims and everything that he talked about in the video that we watched. Let me know what you guys think about what they said about Trump, what they said about Melania being present for a lot of these ritualistic things, and there being multiple claims about them being present. I want to know what you guys think down below. You guys think these are possible things, what you do think happened, what you don't think happened. And yeah, other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.